This is interesting to me because it kind of brings up like the different approaches.
Yes.
This is from Natasha. This is from Natasha. She says, I'm truly a fan of both companies and theme parks. I've stated this before, but Universal constantly makes backhanded comments at Disney with no prompting, and I find it hilarious that all of a sudden they're silent because they're guilty too. They should be held accountable too.
More guilty. They contributed more money.
Way more money.
Way more money.
Which is interesting. And it's not like here's the thing. It's not like Comcast is like this mom and pop kind of organization in Florida. They are the second biggest theme park operator in Florida, and they're only getting bigger with Epic Universe. I mean, Alia, I'll start with you. Why do you believe that there's really not that much accountability when it comes to the Universal and Comcast? Why is kind of the bulk, the 99.9% majority of the attention on Chapek and Disney?
Because when you mention Disney in a headline, that catches attention. And conversing about this, it'd be brought up about the pop culture significance of Disney, which I understand as a Disney fan. Yet with politicians, facts are facts. The contribution amount means you have a greater chance of a seat at the table. So it doesn't matter if you love or hate Disney. The fact is Comcast donated more money, which means they have a greater chance of having a seat at a table with these politicians. And so if anything, if people were really concerned about what's happening with that Florida legislature and behind the scenes, Comcast had more leverage than Disney technically. And so I don't understand why there's not this, because of that reason with the politicians, why there wasn't that an equal amount or greater anger at Comcast, at Universal.
Yes. And it's interesting because it's not just Universal, right? There's a plethora of companies that have invested now in Florida, as California kind of falls into the spotlight. It falls out of the spotlight, and Florida comes up in it for a various amount of reasons, right? And they've all donated to these political campaigns one way or another, or at least most of them anyway. And yet we don't put that same onus on them. And I think a lot of that has to do with, unfortunately, I mean, maybe not unfortunately, but as it's played out, Disney has been a lot more vocal of an advocate for these kinds of issues, right? And I mean, they have internal policies, and they've been very, they've taken a very loud stance, at least in the past, on these issues. And so when you put that expectation out there, there's a contingent that looks to you and says, okay, where are you at now? And that pattern was started by Iger, for better or for worse. Like, I'm not, not one way or another on it. I'm just saying that when you do that, there is going to be a certain subset of people who are looking for your stances on more on other things. And you're going to be placed under the microscope even that much more because of what you've said in the past. They're going to hold you to that. Right. And I think that's why Disney gets the fair brunt of this. Also, too, they're one of the largest employers in Florida, so that also has something to do with that. They represent the interests of a lot of people.
Yeah, no, you both are absolutely correct. You both are absolutely correct. Alia mentioning that that the headline grabbing Disney is a factor. You mentioned that Disney has kind of injected itself more into this, and all of these. This is like not a one reason thing. I think you're both absolutely correct in all these points you're making. Mm-hmm. And I just think like cultural relevance, I think Disney is more culturally relevant in a lot of ways than a lot of the Universal properties at this time, at least. That might change, but right now I think it is. But